Today I'm going to talk about an extremely effective and an extremely popular productivity hack, a productivity tool, a productivity metric that has been used widely by not only well known productivity gurus but also with all my experience in self improvement that I've had for maybe the last 5 years. I've noticed this in every single self improvement book. This is the most widely used technique, if you want to call it that. It's the pareto principle. For the people who have not heard it, it's basically something that states that 20% of your effort will get you 80% of the results. I'll give you some examples so that you can understand this. And this is something that was coined. I'm not going to get into much historical detail. I want to get into the practical crux of this, but this was something stated by Pareto himself. It's named after that person, whoever he is. I believe he's some Italian guy. He was some economist apparently, and it's basically something that is seen in statistics everywhere. That you must have heard of it. That 20% of people in our society, the richest one, control or have the 80% of the wealth. Now this is the hack is that you can use this anywhere in life. I'm literally using this as we speak. uh, Currently I'll give you my example that I've really got into the idea of recording video and uh, really wanting to be someone who produces and makes good content talking about all the ideas that I have. So for me, what would the major task be? What would be the 20% efforts that I have to put to get 80% of the results? For me, it would have to be getting in front of camera, which is recording, obviously, editing it, which I currently do not do, but like I'd have to ideally do that, and I just have to, yeah, that's it. Recording, editing, and maybe scripting, which again, that's something I don't really do. I come here unfiltered in front of you. So that those are my 20% tasks. If I did them well enough, that would give me the 80% results. I would not need to bother beyond that point. Anything beyond that point would just give me diminishing results. So if I just did these three well, and I can go on and on about this. I can basically tell you that even I can, like, the detail I can get into this is scary. I'll tell you. I'll give an example again to extend on it. Even in editing, I would not have to learn everything. Even in terms of editing videos, I just have to edit it in such a way, like, there'd be like, maybe in editing there'd be like two or three main techniques that I could apply, and that would give me the 80% of results, where my editing would be well enough and functional enough so that I could post great videos. um, I could go on and on about this. I'll tell you some other aspects of this, or examples rather. Again, like, for say, for someone who's looking for a job, and they that's their life task currently, so they could put in 20% effort, which would give them 80% of the result. Now their 20% effort would be polishing up their CV, looking up at the places that they'd want to apply to, and like they'd make sure that they'd be doing the applications, and they'd be applying as much as possible, and that would give them 80% of the results. So like that's what they need to focus on. Anything other than that would be tweaking and would not really be required or necessary. That would be going the extra mile and going the extra step. So they'd really be wasting their time doing that. That's basically what the pareto principle is, and it's essentially a life hack. I'm currently using this, as I told you. I gave you 2 or 3 examples of how you can do this. uh, so you need to look at 20% of tasks that you need to do on your day-to-day basis, which will give you 80% of the results. Let's say, for example, if you're someone who wants to make a lot of money, you'd have to decide what your 20% tasks would be that would give you 80% of the results. Because this will help you with efficiency, and it will help you with reducing and minimizing the tasks which are really wasteful, or like are wasting your resources really. So this simple life hack can completely change your life. And this is also true for almost anything and everything you can think of. Let's say you're on your phone, you spend a lot of time on your phone, you have problems with scrolling, you're just addicted to your phone. There must be 20% of applications on your phone which you're spending 80% of your time in. So you need to find out what those 20% applications are, and you need to reduce them, or you need to just delete I don't know, that's I'm leaving that up to you, and how you can effectively make a change. That's practically all. And that's how simple the pareto principle is. Start looking at things in terms of the 80-20 rule. You'll find this in every aspect of your life. There's not one aspect of your life that you can't use this in. So get using it and start getting results, because this is how simple it is. And you need to sit down, reflect, and introspect of where you can apply this and how you are going to apply it, because that's the challenge. I've given you the rule, go use it. That's all. I'll see you in the next one.